Good morning. Welcome to the Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship. I'm Reverend Paul Beckel. We find ourselves in a time in which not only is there a great deal of simultaneous joy and sorrow in the world, but we are aware of so much of it. More and more, it feels like too much. And yet, what progress for the nation to begin to celebrate Juneteenth. Even while acknowledging the horrors and deceit that brought it into existence. And Father's Day, because it's vital that for our society's well-being to acknowledge and recognize when black and white, gay and straight, single and partnered fathers and grandfathers and teachers and all who, adapting to their given circumstances, prioritize the mental, physical, and social well-being of those who will face tomorrow's challenges, but first need to have resources and hope and love to get through today. It is a complex, contentious, curious world we live in so many ways a wonderful world. So we gather to find community, to engage in ritual, and encounter music to help us understand who we are and who we wish to be. So please stand with me now and join in hymn number 357 in the gray hymnal, Bright Morning Stars Are Rising. And now please say with me our covenant as Gabe lights the chalice. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service gives it life. celebrating our diversity and joined by a quest for truth, we work for peace and honor all creation. This is our covenant.
Cornerstone. Cornerstone reminds us of the importance of forgotten people building a better life for us all. We learned Cornerstone here 11 years ago as we celebrated the completion of this building. And I will always associate it with that important milestone in the life of this congregation.
The Sometimes I feel discouraged and think my work's in vain. But then the Holy Spirit revives my soul again. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. If you cannot preach like Peter, if you cannot pray like Paul, you can tell the love of Jesus and say he died for all. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick
Come on up to the stage. And one of the two got mics.
Papa's out in the field, Mama's down at the well, Grandma's away at the market with that yacht to sell.
A neighbor is watching the children. They're playing out on the path. An old man comes along and tells them a story. Always makes them laugh.
He says, when you go down by the river, watch out for those crocodiles. You see, in Africa, the old saying goes, it takes a whole village to raise a child. It takes a whole village to raise a child. It takes a whole village to raise a child. It takes a whole village to raise a child.
The world is a village now, and it isn't very large. It's a struggle for survival.
the children all glued to their own cell phones and helping them to understand everything they see. Who's going to sit down with them and listen for a while? In Africa, the old saying goes,
It takes a whole village to raise a child. It takes a whole village to raise a child. It takes a whole village to raise a child. It takes a whole village to raise a child.
Glory to the Holy of Holies indeed. But how do the works of those ideals come into the earth? Who is the balm? Who is the village that shall raise the child in love? It needs to be us through our hearts and our hands. Each month we take a collection to support good work being done by organizations in our community. Today we're taking a collection for NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness. Our support of this organization is so vital because there are so few resources available in comparison to the great need out there. And so in our collection, everything that's collected here in the sanctuary and online, unless it's specifically marked for buff, will go to NAMI, N-A-M-I, National Alliance for Mental Illness. If you're contributing online, there will be a way to indicate how you would like your donation to go. If you're here and you're writing a check, you can write buff on the memo line if this is a pledge that you wanted specifically to go to buff. Now I'd like to welcome Rosemary Webb, who can tell us more about NAMI.
Well, everyone, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a seat. I have a kind of a bad ankle, so I'll speak to you from here. Good morning, and thank you so much for the Wake Up Choir. I really appreciated that. I just feel like my soul woke up this morning, and I want to thank you for that, especially Alan and Julie, or Kevin and Julie. So, NAMI. What I'm going to tell you about is NAMI is an organization, and a little bit about my personal story and how I became involved with NAMI. Many years ago, about 15 years ago, my adult son became psychotic. He was a college student, and more and more became disturbed, and when he and his girlfriend broke up, he just kind of flipped out. And there was no NAMI where I was at the time, and I looked desperately for help and counseling and whatever, and it just wasn't working. He was eventually hospitalized, diagnosis of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, no drug as a second diagnosis, no drug addictions. Anyway, it wasn't till I moved from California to Bellingham, Washington, and discovered a NAMI. And I had no idea about them before I got here. And when I got here, my son was struggling after having been hospitalized for almost 7 months. And when he got out, he had no support. No doctor, no counseling, no medication. And he continued to go downhill. And he did manage to get a job, but then he lost it because he didn't stay on his medication. And when he didn't stay on his medication, he lost his job because that was one of the conditions of his employment. And they released him. He flipped out again, and he went to his dad's house and started tearing up his old bedroom. And he said the answers were in the wall. And his dad called the police, and they brought a mental health team to the house. They said he was not a danger to himself or others, but his dad wanted him out of the house. So he told the police to arrest his son, and they said they couldn't unless he said that his son tried to kill him or threatened his life, which he then told them he did because he wanted them to take him out of his house. He had no idea what to do. He didn't have a NAMI, and he called me about it, and my NAMI training kicked in. NAMI taught me to advocate, taught me to think clearly about mental health, taught me to respond to my son's psychoses in a positive way. He was arrested. I couldn't do anything about that. He spent 5 months in jail until they got him to a psychiatric center where he continued to receive help and was released to my custody, and I brought him up here to Washington State, where he's not only involved in NAMI, but involved in a treatment program. He's doing well. He's considering work. And if it wasn't for NAMI, I wouldn't have known what to do. I probably would have reacted like my ex-husband reacted. And all I want to say to you is that NAMI is growing. The demand on our services is growing. Every week we see new people come to us. We have a helpline. It is not a hotline. We don't treat people. We're not psychiatrists. We are people who understand what other people are going through. We provide support. We are there to say, we care. We're here for you. We understand your pain and what you're struggling through. And we help in recovery, and we say that we are a community and we are here to support others. So all I can say is NAMI is a wonderful organization, and they've made a tremendous difference in my life and in the life of my son, who has a serious mental illness. And without the village to support him, he would not survive in this. And because of NAMI and because of the village, he continues to have hope that things will be better for him one day, and he will learn how to live with a condition that is probably not curable, but is manageable. So I thank you so much for your time, and I know that there are some other NAMI volunteers in the audience here in our group today, and I want to thank them for their time and their contribution as well. We have a lot of new things happening and a lot of new programs. When we go to the social hour afterward, I brought my laptop computer because I wanted to introduce you to the NAMI website if you are not familiar. Okay, there's lots of stuff going on, and we need your support, so thank you very much for your time. Bye.
Thank you, Rosemary. Mental illness touches us all, and we know there are better ways than are currently being done to help people. And we might think that, oh, gee, some larger entity should be taking care of it, but it's not. And so locally, it comes to us. And so thank you in advance for your support of NAMI. No matter how big of an organization were to take care of things, and as far as medically, we still need an interface like NAMI to get resources to people. So as the ushers come forward to receive your offering, thank you for your support.
The Water is Wide, arranged by Paul Carey, is a lovely old Appalachian folk tune. But with the new lyrics that you'll hear, it's become something that makes me feel so happy and so joyful.
And
I Dreamed Rain is a song about nature's magical ability to revive the spirits. For me, rain nourishes, purifies, and heals. It replenishes my soul.
What a Wonderful World talks to me of keeping the faith. faith and keeping it in the heart.
Hymn time. What number? 108? 108, please stand and join us. 108.
Thank you.
second, Barbara. I'm going to say
Okay.
it's going to be We Rise Again, but something. Thank you for coming today, and thank you to those on Zoom. We're glad you're with us as well. This choir in past years has been over 60. You see exactly half that here. And we especially miss our choir members who haven't been able to rejoin us yet since COVID, but we surely want to be all together again this September. So all of you choir members who haven't been able to join us yet, we want you back. We really want you back. We have a couple choir members here in the audience. I'd just like to recognize Nancy Steele. She's been singing with us, but she came down with the bug and just so wasn't able to. But Nancy is a stalwart. Someone behind the scenes is Al Heason. He makes rehearsal tracks for all these songs. He did it when he was singing with us. He kept doing it when he wasn't even getting the benefit for himself, but that's how many of us have learned our parts. So thanks to Al Heason. On Saturday mornings, Ruth Ann, please stand up. You can't stop her. She wants to come and work with these singers. She enjoys it so much and teaches them their parts live. Thanks, Ruth Ann. Yeah. Andrea Rackel is one of our keyboard artists. She's filling in. Melanie and Andrea take turns. Thanks to her. And now I want to recognize Melanie, the keyboard artist #1. We finish with the song aptly named
We Rise Again. We Rise Again is an anthem of determination and reassurance. And as we sang that last song, My Heart Flows On in Endless Song, I thought how this congregation is rising again and how one cannot stop the human spirit.
We look
Let us go now with hope and music in our hearts, that we might bless and serve the world through the spirit of our expanding love. And let us circle now for freedom.